Bienvenido and welcome to IJustWatched. I'm Joseph, and we're talking Transformers: Rise of the Beast. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know I was ready to dog this movie because the lore nowhere near where it's supposed to be. What it's based off of was completely yeeted into left field of a different game. I say this because I enjoyed this movie. What does that say about me? So first things first, this is definitely a sequel to Bumblebee. It takes place 7 years later. Spoiler warning, just in case. I feel like I'm a little late, but you know, just in case. Anyways, 7 years post Bumblebee, there's a subtle but simple reference. Optimus is my favorite thing in this movie because he is a savage, my boy. I'm gonna try to put a pin in it because when he fights, Scourge in that final battle. Oh, you know, I just talk about it right now. He got dirty. He threw lava in his face, and Scourge was like, my eyes. He was headbutting him. He shoved his face into a gear. I was like, that's our savior. That's our space robot Jesus. He's just gonna fight dirty like that? Yes, I hope he whoop his ass. The thing is, though, it did take time for, like I said, that's the final fight. Before that, Optimus was trying to be more Optimus. He wasn't being so vicious. And then when Bumblebee got, I knew it was gonna happen because of the trailer. But still, it was a sad moment. Like, I love Bumblebee, all right? And it's funny because Gen 1, Bumblebee ain't nobody. He's a scout. He tiny. He don't really do nothing. Jazz is your main dude, honestly. But not just that. It's funny because now it's Mirage because Jazz, like, ceases to exist. I'm curious. Are we going to get more Autobots? Where are the Decepticons? The biggest things that come out of this. I enjoyed the movie. The music. Oh, it's amazing. It's 90s rap, baby. It's nothing. They're like, yo, we're going to pick bangers and just let it flow. And, I mean, it was hard not to be fucking bumping. And, you know, I was trying my best not to, like, sing along to these songs because I didn't want to ruin the experience for everybody. Dude, they start with Wu-Tang. Ooh. And then threw in some like sleeper hits. I was like, okay, y'all really throwing some gangster shit in here, and I love it and I respect it. It looked good. I like the way the Autobots design wise. I mean, the Maximals are huge. The Maximals are bigger than the Autobots, which makes no sense because they're not supposed to be. I liked how Unicron looked. Scourge was actually creepy and he was whooping ass, especially with his two homies, which I don't remember their names. I was gonna say Night Fury, but isn't that Toothless? The interaction with the humans only made more sense once we got to that final moment and you see that Usnavi, because I don't know his name, but he will forever be Usnavi to me, gets handed the little business card and you're like, oh, what is it? Sector 7? I was so confident with Sector 7. I was like, yeah, Sector 7, bro, obviously. Like, what else is gonna be? And then he moved a little plaque and it said Great American Hero, and David was like, oh. And then you look at the business card, and the business card said G.I. me, G.I. Joe. I was like, oh, okay, we're not even hinting to a possibility that they coexist. No, they coexist. This movie, like I said, is a fun movie. I think it's actually high rewatchability because I've seen it twice in theaters now, and I'd watch it again. I really enjoyed it. Weirdly enough, even though it is so off, it was right in a few specific points that let it push forward enough for me to be like, there is a clear plan here. This is the introduction of Unicron, but you can see this was just a tease. Like, Unicron is going to come back in a big way. We're going to transition to Autobots versus Decepticons, Maximals, Predacons. Like, you can see them building now. I think that's part of the reason I enjoyed it as well, is because you can see the plan. You can see how they're trying to build and where they might be building towards. The homie and I went down a rabbit hole of possibilities between the fact that G.I. Joe exists and Transformers they're coexisting in this universe. We went down a rabbit hole talking about, does Cobra maybe have Megatron on ice and they're using Megatron to create better technology? That's why they always have better technology than Joes, and they're using it to defeat the Joes, but the Joes are not going to have Transformers on their side, forcing Cobra to unleash the Decepticons, and then they're going to be the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of thing, kind of sort of, but it's going to be like Cobra's going to be like, haha, we're smarter than him, we're going to use him, and then we're going to betray him, and then Decepticons going to be like, we're smarter than them, we're going to use them, and then we're going to betray him, and that's why they're going to always lose, even though they have the tactical strength and overall everything they need to defeat the Joes and the Transformer Autobots. That kind of rabbit hole for hours. That's what we're excited for. I want to hear your thoughts. Have you seen the movie? If you haven't, I definitely recommend you check it out. It's a good movie. Dude, the sound design on this bad boy. Ooh. In the middle of this movie, jet over top, right? And we heard it fly by us. Homie and I both did this. You heard that? Same time, because we knew, ooh, the sound design on this bad boy plus the soundtrack. Overall, it's a really good movie. I, again, enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. And then on the rewatch, I still enjoyed it. But I want to hear your thoughts, comments, questions, concerns. What you think of the movie? Do you like the changes? Do you like where it could be going? I like the accuracy of designs. The only one that I was like iffy about was Mirage, but that's just because I'm not a huge Pete Davidson fan. I don't really find him funny. There's parts in this movie who's getting annoying. Like little tweaks, and these movies can go from being good to great. Like Bumblebee to me is great. Love that movie. This movie just needs a couple little tweaks so the next one can just be a complete banger. But until next time, stay safe, be well, y con mucho amor. Adios.